go live. I'm going live from my phone. I do have the charts up, but I want to talk to the community, talk to everybody, see where your head is at. And I mean, maybe this is a bear market, so we'll talk about that as well. But I just want to make sure everybody is cool, make sure everybody is calm, seeing what's going on out there in the crypto world. All the markets are pretty much crashing today. All the markets are pretty much crashing. So it's not just a crypto thing, not just a Bitcoin thing today. We do have everything coming down. We had the Nasdaq down 2.2%, 2.3%. We got the S&P down 1.5%. We got the Dow down 1.25%. We do have the 10-year up 1%. Where's the dollar? The dollar is coming down too. So this is showing a lot of weakness in crypto right now. So let me see what I'm looking at right now. So like I said, I'm not really going to show too many charts. I just want to talk, see what everybody is doing, see where everybody's head is at, let you know my plan, let you know what I'm doing. I've been through things like this. I've been through times where people didn't know if it was a bull market or bear market, bull market or bear market. This happened in 2021 when everybody was still a lot bullish. Everybody was still bullish going into 2021. No, 2022. I'm sorry. And then we were actually in a bear market. So I still have, I don't know if you can see this, but this line here is kind of opposite. This line here is what I've been looking at. So I think we started the bull run. Let me actually look. I think we started the bull run at the end of 2023, around October, the end of September, beginning of October of 2023. So we just been watching this line, this macro uptrend. Actually, I have it in the Telegram group. I've been talking about this over the past months, talking about this upper slope trend line that we started back in 2023, the end of 2023, and we just been bouncing and bouncing and bouncing over the past couple years. So I got a line of about 90, between 90, we got like 93 and 95K. We start to breach that, then I think it'll be a lot of problems coming in. If we start to close weeklies below 94, we'll say 95, 94,000, it'll be kind of bad. It'll be kind of bad. So a lot of people were getting overly bullish. Everybody was getting overly bullish at the time when we was coming, when we were bouncing. We came down to 98. Everybody start getting overly bullish. Let me actually share this out so I can get some people in here live. Make sure my community is here. Share. Let me copy this link right quick. Copy. Put this in the Telegram really quick. I'm live on YouTube. Let's put this out. Paste. And then we can actually put it on X as well. X.com. Get some people in here really quick. Ooh. Boom. Paste. Live on YouTube talking crash. Alexandra G, how you doing? I'm actually putting this out on X right now so we can get some people. I'm just streaming from my phone right now, getting the people's sentiment, seeing if everybody's okay. Basically like an AMA, ask me anything. So let me share this on X right now. Sharing it on X. If you can share that out for me, Alexandra G, that would be amazing. Welcome to Lloydsworth. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we'll get that out. But yeah, I just been talking about the market, talking about what's going on, talking about, everybody has been getting overly bullish at every bounce, but we haven't reclaimed any significant levels. We just been getting rejected from a lot of these key levels. Is my volume okay? Let me make sure my volume is okay. But yeah, I'm just trying to watch and see what Bitcoin does. I don't want to continue to come down. We are getting a small bounce at about 98,700, but for the most part, what I'm looking at right now is for Bitcoin to, it's very hard. And I have a little bit of PTSD from last cycle. And I'll say that because last cycle, everybody was so hell bent on that 100,000, 100K, 100K, 100K. So when the signs were there in 2022 that we were going into a bear market, everybody got wrecked. Not everybody, but some people called at the top. Some people got out, but most people got wrecked. So right now, what I'm watching and what I wish I would have done last cycle was have a technical invalidation for a bull run. Thank you, Alexandra G. Have a technical invalidation for a bull run. So my technical invalidation, I'm on my phone, so I don't have the charts up right now, but I'm looking at the charts right now, and my technical invalidation for a bull run would be closing weeklies below this upward sloping trend line. There we go. And that's coming in, we'll say about 94 to 95K. But ultimately, if we lose 88 to 90K and we start closing below there on a weekly time frame, then it'll be problems. I think for the crypto market, I think that will confirm a bear market. So I'm not going off sentiment. I'm not going off of how I feel, what everybody, your favorite analyst is saying. I'm not going off of anything like that. I'm going off purely technicals. I'm going off. I know a lot of people look at the 50-week moving average. We did come down. We bounced up from there. So this trend line and the 50-week moving average is kind of like, close in proximity when it comes to price. But this is how I'm looking at the market. This is how I analyze it and did some back testing to look at it last cycle. And I'm gonna just go from there. I'm gonna just use it, like that, and continue to hold on. Sorry, sharing this out. Continue to go from there and see what happens with the market. But we've been trading too, so that's another thing I've been doing. We've been trading and trying to get in and out. It hasn't been conditions for us to just hold positions, basically. So we haven't been holding positions. This cycle has been weird. I'm not gonna lie. This cycle has been very, very weird. So we'll continue to watch it. All we can do is continue to watch the market. How do you feel? How you guys feel out there? So that's the thing. I feel like going live and getting real reactions, I think that's something that I want to continue to do. So how are you feeling right now? Right now, Bitcoin, we're at 98,696. So we came down, we lost that low. We had a low of about 98,700 I think it was last week. So now we took out that low, got to a low of about, what's this, 98,200. So how are you guys feeling? Are you ready for a bear market? Because there's a lot of opportunity in the bear market, but it's also a test. I talked about this earlier on X2. It's also a test that, a lot of people was top blasting Bitcoin. A lot of people were top blasting Bitcoin, buying at 115. Some people bought like 120. Some people bought like over, from where we are now. So the real test is going to come when, I'm ready. Alexandra G says she's ready for the bear. I'm with you. But the real test comes during a bear market. And you underwater. That's a terrible feeling for me. But now that I've been in the market and I'm kind of unemotional about it, like I welcome a bear market. I wish we would just go up forever, but at the same time, it's not that important to me. Okay, so J-Ro Mamino 5575 says bear market equals more. Yeah. So what are you accumulating? A lot of people are turning into Bitcoin maximalists, though. Have you noticed that? A lot of people who were super altcoin heavy, or a lot of people who always talked about altcoins, they, a lot of them were very altcoin heavy, but now people are starting to talk more about Bitcoin. People are starting to just gear more towards Bitcoin. And some people are leaving. We got Joe in the building. Max H received a gift membership. Yeah, what's up? Queen is in the building. King B, what's up, King B? J Turner 1605, not happy about being underwater, but I'm prepared. I'm better prepared. Yeah, that's the thing. I'll give you a story about me. So I don't think I was, let me see. I got in Bitcoin. My average price, well, I could look on my phone, but I'm recording on my phone. My average price of Bitcoin is about 20,000. I don't think I've ever been underwater in Bitcoin, so to say, because I got in early 2020, mid 2020. But altcoins, underwater and never came back. I have some that I'm still holding that I've been underwater in and never came back. So it's a terrible, terrible feeling. But right now, what I'm doing with those coins that was underwater, I was trying to kind of hold out. I already sold my alts. So Alexandra G, I actually talked to Piper at the beginning of the year. So I was trying to hold out to sell some, at the beginning of the year. To see if they went up some more. And then after that first April dump, when we got that tariff liberation day, I just started selling, to be completely honest with you. I just started selling. So that was one of the things that I said, okay, I'm gonna try not to hold that many alts going into a bear market. I was never, or I'm still not in the camp of like a super cycle. Like I talk about this all the time. I do think we are going to have a shortened bear market. I do think that. I think we're going to have a bear market, but I think we're going to have a shortened bear market when it comes to crypto. When it comes to all assets, like even if the stock market is going down, everything is going down. When it comes to the tech stocks, crypto, I think we're going to get a shortened bear market. Like usually it would last, like say, let's say it started now and it lasted for a year. So we would have to take all of 2026 to be in a bear market, basically. I don't think that's going to happen. We already see, let's start factoring in some things. I'm already seeing stimulus. Stimulus. This is what really catapulted the 2020 bull run. We're seeing the $2,000 checks. We're seeing we do have Fed Chair Powell that's going to be up out of there in May, I think. So we're going to have a new Fed chairman. So I think Trump is going to get somebody. I know people, if you've been following me, you know my thesis, but I think Trump is going to get somebody in there that's kind of just going to do whatever he wants, and it's going to be lower rates. It's going to be stimmy. It's going to be just. I think they're going to try to outpace the economy. They're going to try to outgrow the economy, outgrow inflation rather. And that's going to hurt the little person, the people who don't know about assets, the people who are not invested in the right assets. But if we're in I think Bitcoin, I think the stock market, I think all of it is going to, eventually go higher and make new higher highs. All those price predictions that we wanted for Bitcoin going to 150, 200, I think that happens after the next wave or during the next wave. So, it's just a matter. Crypto, I'll say this market, this crypto bull market was very weird. It was very weird, but I think crypto is just a game of patience, like patience. And if you don't know what to buy, just buy Bitcoin. You know what I mean? But I hate when Bitcoin's not gonna make you rich. That's the only thing. That's the only problem. So, the degenerate side of me is always looking for things that are gonna last, but I really don't want to lose no money either. But right now, what I'm looking at, or going into, if we do go into a longer drawn out bear market, like Alexandra G, she says she sold her alts. She's holding Bitcoin only now. Like if you don't know what to do, like that's what to do. Like not financial advice. That's pretty much what you can do. But I think some of the things or some of the coins that have stood the test of times, like XRP, Ethereum, I think Solana, they got ETF now and things like that. They're going to stand the test of times. But will they outperform Bitcoin? Will they outperform Bitcoin? So that's the thing that I'm looking at right now and I'm searching for. So right now, if somebody comes to me that want to get in crypto or they want to ask me some type of advice about crypto, I'm just pointing them to Bitcoin. And that's one good thing that I did this cycle. Last cycle, I was telling people to buy Floki, Shiba Inu, Dogecoin. With Dogecoin stood the test of times. Dogecoin is going to be around, but I was telling people to buy all type of meme coins. I was telling people to buy all type of altcoins that never recovered. This cycle, anybody who came to me for some type of information or some type of knowledge or something like that, I was just pointing people directly to Bitcoin. Like, hey, what should I buy? Should I buy this? Should I buy that? I'm not giving you no type of advice. If you want to get into crypto, buy Bitcoin. Once you start to go down the rabbit hole, then you can kind of maneuver a little bit better once you in the space. You know what I mean? But I'm not just trying to tell somebody to come in and just buy some random alt. And that's one thing why I haven't grown that quick either when it comes to crypto in YouTube and things like that. I think, I feel like I'm a good creator. You know what I mean? But I feel like if I was shilling more like exchanges, if I was shilling more altcoins, if I talked about more altcoins a lot, then I could probably be bigger. Like I'm competing against the bigger players, the bigger people who always talk about Bitcoin, who are already established, who already have you guys' trust to talk about Bitcoin. The little creators and things like that, they come and talk about altcoins, and that's how they build communities and they build subscribers and they build their fan base around altcoins. I have never really done that. I've always talked about Bitcoin. So right now, I feel like I did a good service by really not honing in on altcoins that much this cycle. Even though we talked about altcoins over in the Telegram, the Cool Kids Alpha Club, or my free Telegram, we didn't really just necessarily religiously go down and talk about altcoins. I do think altcoins will have their time. Like I don't think the altcoin market is just dead forever. But we going through a process of like it was so many altcoins. At one point, it was like 2 million altcoins being created per day. like in meme coins, things like that. Buying Bitcoin, Solana, Sui, buying the fear. So Matthew Barnes, what's up, Matthew Barnes? 4785 says he's buying Bitcoin, Solana. So Solana has got on my list too. I will say that Solana, they had a good partnership a couple months ago, and now they're talking about they got the ETF. The ETF inflows have been pretty good. I still think it's a lot of things I don't like about Solana, but I think they're going to stand the test of time. That's number one. In a bear market, you have to step back and you got to figure out like which coins, if I invest in today, are not going to go to zero and are going to stand the test of times. Even if they don't outperform Bitcoin, you know what I mean? Will they appreciate? Will my money appreciate? And some people like the tech, like Solana's technology. They got a phone. I wish they would do more with the phone. I wish they would come out with another phone. But I think Solana, I'm with you, Matthew Barnes. I think Solana is one that you could accumulate. If you're going to accumulate anything, it's only like a handful. Like it's really like a handful. And the crypto market is going to keep changing. It's going to keep changing. I was looking at somebody, one of my YouTube pals, his name is Keith D. He was talking about, he made an Instagram post today talking about how right now it's just about number go up, number go up, number go up. At some point in the future, we will be able to price these, not even cryptocurrencies, these blockchains the right way. The technology, like just how you can price a Microsoft, just how you can price an Nvidia, just how you can price a Google, Amazon. They have products that you can actually price them in. You know what I mean? So I think at some point in the future, we will be able to price these blockchains, these cryptos, how they maneuver technology wise. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm waiting on. I'll be in the space for a long time, but right now it's mostly all speculation. Queen, what's up, Queen? Let me give Queen a heart. I gotta make you a mod. I'm gonna actually make you a mod as well. I don't want to mess nothing up because last time when I was on live, I banned Alexandra G, and I was like, oh my God, we was live and I banned her. So I'm gonna do it once we get off of here. But I appreciate everybody who's been coming over. And we've been wrong. Everybody was wrong. I made a video about this earlier talking about most people in crypto have been wrong for a long time, this whole cycle. But we have been maneuvering and we have been a little bit fluid when it comes to just trying to navigate the market. We had to be very fluid in navigating the market. So right now, Bitcoin is sitting at 98,744. So we're on dump watch. That's basically what we're doing right now. Let's see what you're saying. Queen is a great mod. Oh yeah. I'm gonna definitely have. So Alexandra is my only mod right now. So we'll add Queen once I get off here. So let me actually, because I got so much I'm doing, I'm writing it down right now. Add Queen as mod, so I won't forget. I appreciate y'all. Got to go back to work. Matthew Barnes, appreciate you for stopping by, man. Have a good day at work. We'll see you a little bit later. So what I'm doing right now, like I said, let's actually look at the altcoins. Let me go down and see what's happening. Yeah, we're getting a small bounce when it comes to like the stock market, NASDAQ, but overall it's just a red day. It's just a pretty red day. Bitcoin sitting at still under 99, still under 100,000, and 100,000 is super psychological. 94K is my line. Yep, we talked about it. Same with me. So Queen, I was looking at. I know you probably you see my videos. I got that upper sloping trend line. Let me see if you can see it. It's kind of reversed, but I have that upper sloping trend line that we started from October, and then I have. If you see right there, it says 94. So it's backwards, but it says around 94, 95K. So we're aligned. We're in the same, we're pretty much in the same boat. I got to figure out how to swap that. That would be very convenient. But yeah, 94. If we come down, because this happened too last cycle before we even started to get into the real bear market, we came down, we breached like an important level that we needed to hold, but then we bounced again. It's really a matter of starting to close those dailies and closing those weeklies below that line in the sand. So if we start closing, like I said earlier, if we start closing weeklies, I say 2 weeklies below 94, really below 90,000, then I would be, I might have to throw the towel in for the bull run. You know what I mean? But like I said, this cycle has been completely different. I knew it was off when we got an all-time high before the halving. I said something is off. But matter of fact, let me actually check. So one thing that I have been checking on CoinMarketCap is the bull market indicators. So we got the let me see if I can find it. So you got the bull market indicator. So fear and greed right now is at 25. The total market cap is down almost 3%. Let me see if I can search it. I forgot how to get to it, but I think I'm gonna type in bull market top indicators. I gotta figure out how to get to it, but it's like 30. It's like 30 of them that it has on here, and not one of them have fired off. You got the rainbow chart. You have the pi cycle top. Those are the two that I really was looking at. Those haven't fired off yet. And then, you know, like I said earlier, a lot of people are going on that 50-day modified or that 50-week moving average. So I mean, we'll see. Is it the 50-day or the 50-week? I think it might be the 50-day moving average. But I'm not really a moving average person. So I used to use it when I was trading. I do use like the 21 day modified moving average, but that's only when I'm like scalping. But like I said, right now I'm just trying to get a community sentiment, see what everybody is doing, see how everybody is feeling, because just don't leave. That's what I've been preaching. Do not leave. Like, you don't have to, you know how when the market is booming, everybody's in the space, everybody's happy and things like that. Everything is fine. Everybody's here. Views are up. Everybody's happy, things like that. In a bear market, or when you know, people leave. And I will tell you this, I got a Excel file as to all my buys in the bear market. And I think besides virtuals, we talked about virtuals. That one did numbers for me. But it was virtuals and Popcat. Those are my two biggest runners this cycle. But in the bear market, that's where I made most of my money. I could have bought a couple more Bitcoins, but me being a degenerate, I bought some altcoins, and most of them like are underwater. So I'm still upset about that, but it's a learning experience. That's why I try to, you know, stay on the YouTube and stay on, you know, making content and things like that, so people will have, you know, not make the same mistakes as me. I come on the internet and I don't try to extract. I try to give knowledge. And also, sometimes it's people in my comments or in my chats that are smarter than me. So I'm also learning, you know, as it comes to crypto, and when I'm, you know, making content, things like that. But right now, what I'm doing is I'm just sitting back. I'm trying to, we call ourselves the cool kids. So if you're new, you know, we call ourselves the cool kids, and we like to be cool and calm no matter what situation the market is in. If it's going up and everybody's, you know, jumping for joy and things like that, we still cool. We even kill. If it's down, if it's crashing like this, we're still cool. I feel like that's the way you make the most money in crypto. That's the way you make the most money in investing. And if you're a trader, of course, that's how you know, make the most money, just by not being too emotional. We're human, so we're going to be a little bit emotional about it, but trying to tame that beast, you know, to the upside, to the downside, fear and greed. That's really what I come on the internet and I try to preach. So right now, I'm not too nervous. Like Queen said a little bit earlier, you know, 94 is a key. 94 to 95,000 is a key level that we want to continue to watch. We want to continue to hold. And like I said, if we start closing dailies below there, and ultimately if we start closing weeklies below that line, then it'll be a little bit worrisome. Jay Turner, let me check out this Cool Kids Discord. It's Telegram. So my Discord is working, but Discord for me is a little bit, I would have to really commit to Discord because I want to be like really immersed. So Telegram, I could just go in, I have a thought, and then I'll go in, I'll type my thought, what I'm thinking in real time, and then I'm done. In Discord, I want to be like fully immersed, fully into it, fully engaging and things like that. So that's why I really haven't really launched it. But I'm telling you, in the bear market, if this is a bear market, if we go into some sort of a down to low period, you find those people who are teachers. You find those people who have been through multiple cycles, who have made some money. Like, you can't really tell if somebody made money because people be lying. You know, people be lying. People say they made money in crypto, but really they made money off you. They didn't make money in crypto, you know, or the actual market. But you have to be, in a bear market, you really have to hone in. You really have to lock in, because this is where the money is. I'm telling you, this is where the money is made. A lot of people don't want to see a bear market. A lot of people were top blasting a lot of these altcoins. A lot of people are underwater, but It could turn around if you make the right moves in a bear market. If we are in a bear market, I'm not saying we're in a bear market, but I mean, altcoins are in a bear market. I will say that a lot of altcoins are in a bear market, but Bitcoin, we're still watching to see if some of those levels are actually breached. So Jay Turner, no worries. I like Telegram better. Yeah, Telegram is a lot easier for me. Telegram is a lot easier for me to manage because I do so much other stuff, and I'm like a super committed father and husband. So I be trying to be like present at home too. So I don't just want, like a lot of people could just do that all day, be on the phone all day. I'll be trying to be, I'll be trying to be present at the crib as well. So crypto changed me. What's up, crypto changed me, Alexander? Appreciate you for stopping by. We just been checking the temperature, checking everybody's temperature, seeing what's going on as Bitcoin is coming down. Let's go back to the chart. So right now, this $98,000 level, we breached the low, the monthly low, and this was something that we didn't want to. A lot of people were saying this, the bottom was in, and I was like, even if you look at some of my YouTube videos, my past YouTube videos, it was like, no, the bottom could be in, but I'm technical. Like I'm taking emotion away from it. I'm taking sentiment away from it. I'm going strictly off technicals. Have we reclaimed certain levels? Have we reclaimed 107? Have we reclaimed 110? Have we reclaimed 113? Have we reclaimed 116? I told my community, until we reclaim $116,000, nothing is on the table. No bull market. We're just in limbo. I'm not calling it a bull. I'm not calling it a bear. I'm saying we're in limbo. We need to figure out what's going on. We've been in limbo for a while now. After that huge flush out, I've been scratching my head, and I've been very weary of the market. Very weary. I don't like where the market is going. I don't like that TradFi has this much control over the market. I don't like that these centralized exchanges have this much control over the market. But I still love crypto. I still think this is one of the fastest ways that you can, get ahead. I think this is one of the fastest vehicle in the investing garage, so to say. So this is why I'm still here. Of course, I got some stocks. I invest in stocks and things like that. And if you trade, it's all pretty much like the same premise. But I feel I'm still, hopefully, crypto can the whole premise of crypto, the whole genesis of crypto, Bitcoin specifically, has changed. And we have to adapt. We have to adapt to it. It's no longer a middle finger to the man. It's no longer outside the system. It's kind of cohesive with the system now. Like it's kind of like getting cohesive with the system. So, that in that aspect, in that regard, I don't like it. But we're gonna be here. We're gonna be here. And like I said, I tell my community all the time, I don't care if we're at 500K. I don't care if we're at 50,000. I'm gonna be here. Like the Cool Kids Alpha Club, we're gonna be here. We're not going nowhere. You're gonna see, and you're gonna see this, and you might be already seeing it. You're gonna see a lot of creators start talking about other stuff. You're gonna see a lot of creators start disappearing. You're gonna see a lot of that. I'm telling you. When it was 2022, I seen creators start talking about, like one dude, he started talking about like sneakers. I'm like, I thought you was a crypto guy, bro. Like, what's going on? But then when the market started to ramp back up, then he started talking about crypto again. I'm sitting here like, bro, we're not going nowhere. This channel specifically, we will be talking about crypto for the foreseeable future, for the next, because I feel like I said, I feel like this is still one of, if not the fastest vehicles for investing. Like I still have faith in Bitcoin. I still think Bitcoin is going to, some of those numbers that we all wanted to go to. But, it's just a matter of being patient. It's a matter of your risk tolerance. And it's a matter of like who you, it's not even about listening to people. It's not even about coming on the internet and me telling you what to invest in. I can't tell you what to do because our situations are different. Our risk tolerances are different. But you got to align yourself with people close to what you think about crypto, what you think about investing, what you think about life, because you can tell a lot about somebody, about how they approach the market, how they approach the market. Some people just, I don't want to get into it. Let's talk about the, I can rant for a while. So like I said, Bitcoin, we watching Bitcoin. Right now it's sitting at about 98,500. Let's see what the chat is saying. Hello, fan H. Gear 18428. Hi, FD. How you doing? Appreciate you for stopping by. Family first, always, FD. Yes. Alexandra G. So true, bro. I'm telling you, you're gonna see a lot of people start talking about a lot of different other stuff as the crypto market goes down. Some weird stuff too. Like I thought, like you're not a crypto influencer no more. Like what are you doing? Like sneakers? Like I like sneakers, but you know it is what it is, man. To each his own. I'm not knocking nobody's hustle, man. But yeah, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. My goal is to get to 3K. We trying to get to 3,000 subscribers. That'll be my short term goal. Yo man, I sold at 125. The market from 16. That is Sono F Sats. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing that right. You have never been more right. You have never been more right. This is a great comment. He said, "Yo man, I sold at 125,000. The bull run is over basically. 16,000 to 125,000. That is an amazing bull run. That's an amazing bull run. And it's just like life. People's expectations of something be so far up here, you know what I mean? And then when you don't reach these astronomical expectations, it's like, oh, it didn't happen. It didn't like this was a massive bull run. We basically went from 15,000 15,500. That was the low of a November of like 2022. Once we had the FTX, we came down and we got to 126,000. That is a bull run. You're son of Sats. Oh, yeah, I don't know why I couldn't read that, but yeah, you're 100,000% right. I'm a Bitcoin OG too. Well, hey, teach me, man. This is what I talk about. I love to hear from people who've been in the space longer than me. So I got in at 2020. That's when I got in 2020. I think when my first purchase was like 13.4, 13 and a half thousand for Bitcoin. And I wish I would have been accumulating more Bitcoin, but I was so wrapped up into the meme coins. That cycle was out of control. Meme coins and things like that. So I could have accumulated so much more Bitcoin, but I didn't. And I'm still a little bit upset at that, but it is what it is. Don't know why the algo bought me. Well, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate the algo because the algo is an MFer. He don't show me love a lot, but I appreciate him. You know, whoever the algo is, him, her. If it's somebody, you know, appreciate them bringing you over to me, man. Appreciate the knowledge as well. So yeah, what I've been talking about lately is just over the past, I say month and a half. I just been telling people to be cautious, be wary of any pumps. I haven't been telling people to like short the pumps, but traders, if you're a trader, you know, you kind of knew how the market has been reacting because it's been, you know, sell the rip. So buy the dip, sell the rip. It's just been kind of like a rinse and repeat. So traders this cycle have been doing very well if they've been disciplined and they've been in tune to the market. You know what I mean? But for the most part, what I'm doing right now, I have nothing to sell you. I have nothing, you know, to shield. I'm just coming as we go down. If we continue to go down, I'm gonna be ramping up the content because when the market is booming, everybody's a crypto influencer. Everybody wants to do this. Everybody wants to come on the internet and talk about Bitcoin, talk about crypto. When the market is doing this, people leave. People don't want to talk about it. I feel like this is the time you're supposed to talk about it. This separates the tourists. I think somebody said that in the comments. This separates the tourists from the people who actually are in crypto and who actually going to be in crypto. So we're going to be doing a lot more of these, especially as the market goes down. It's kind of like one of those things where I feel like you can gain more as the market goes down because you look at yourself like it emotionally. I've been here. Last bear market, man, it was tough. Because I round tripped so much money. And I wish I was following people who were just perma bulls. And I lost so much money round trip. So I said, I'm not going to do that again. And I'm going to start a YouTube channel. And we're going to be, you know, you got to know when to swing for the fences. And you got to know when to, you know, to do base hits. So we're going to help navigate. Hopefully you can find some value. So Son of Sat says, want to hear something funny? A computer engineer friend of mine got into it in 2011 by gifting me 20 Bitcoin, and I bought. Oh my God! And you bought that with it. So I'll tell you a story. So I'm from Detroit. I'm from the hood. So a lot of my friends, they used to sell what you're talking about. They used to do other things too, and they used to be on Silk Road, and they would just be transacting all this Bitcoin. You have to buy it, and then you have to send them Bitcoin on Silk Road. Little did they know the transactions could be traced, you know, if they really wanted to. Everybody thought it was anonymous. It's not anonymous, it's pseudonymous, you know. So everybody thought all that Bitcoin that they was transaction, I mean, with all the Bitcoin, nobody knew it was going to do what it did today. But, you know, I know a lot of people who had that situation or who was in that situation. So I know one dude, he actually went to jail for doing something like this, but he at one point said he had like 100 Bitcoins off of selling what you talking about. I don't want to say it, I don't want to get demonetized, but off of what you selling or what you talking about. And I'm just like, oh my God, if that was me, man, I would just be like, oh goodness. So it said they probably got my Bitcoin. Maybe my Bitcoin was mine, so no traceability. Okay, so you was early. If you was mining, you was probably just mining from your laptop. So I know you think back. I mean, we can't live in the past, but I know you look back like, dang, I wish I would have kept that Bitcoin. But who would have knew? Who would have knew, man? Who would have knew? Alexandra G says we have 29 amazing viewers and 12 likes. Kindly click that link. Yeah, please click that link, the like button rather. And yeah, let's keep it going. So like I said, so Bitcoin is coming down a little bit more. I think this might be the daily low. We're at 98,300. So like I said, if you're new, welcome. I go by FD White. I've been in crypto for about since 2020. I was at home. I'll give you a quick story and then we'll get back to the charts. Give me 1 minute, I promise. So I was at home 2020. I had already been kind of trading in Forex, so I knew about the trading market, the trading world. I wasn't really like a professional trader, who really is, but I kind of knew about that. I knew how to read charts, things like that. So during the pandemic, I started going down, like I was bored. I was tired of watching Netflix, tired of watching HBO. So I got on YouTube and like a stock market video came on. So I started going down the stock market rabbit hole. Then Da Vinci's video came on. Just buy Bitcoin for $1. Buy $1 worth of Bitcoin, something like that. So I clicked on that. I watched it. I'm like, who is this bald head black dude talking about Bitcoin? Like, so I watched it, but then the algorithm just kept feeding me crypto, and then I found BitBoy. So, hey, you love him or hate him, man. BitBoy was one of the main characters of the last bull run. So I started watching his show every day, and I really got immersed into the space. He was very entertaining. Then I started watching people like Ben Cowan. I started watching who else was I watching? Crypto Jeb. I was watching those guys faithfully, and I just went down a rabbit hole, and I never came back out. So I started to invest in DeFi summer. That was like the summer of 2020, and then I really started going all in. So I was taking all my pandemic money. I was taking unemployment. I was getting unemployment. We got the pandemic stimmy checks. I took mine. I took my wife's check. I took all the stimulus, all the unemployment, dumping it into crypto, just dumping it into crypto. The first thing I bought was XRP. I bought Bitcoin, and then I started buying Ethereum. And then in 2021, I started to become a DGen because they start shilling those meme coins, which I regret. But that's pretty much basically my story. And then towards the tail end of the last cycle, I started to watch Crypto Face. Shout out to my guy Crypto Face. That's my guy now. And he was just trading. So I started to really hone in on trading a little bit more. I bought Market Cipher. So I started to trade a little bit more. And then in the bear market, I said, I still want to make money. I don't want to just be sitting on these bags, these coins. I still want to figure out how to make money. So I already had a trading history a little bit. But then I implemented Market Cipher. I started watching a lot more trading, and then I started trading. So the trading has helped me in crypto as an investor as well. So a lot of times when you watch some of these people on the internet, you got to decipher if they're traders or you got to decipher if they are investors. It's a big difference. Time frame is everything. A lot of people come on the internet, make these predictions, and they may be wrong or right in the short term, but it depends on if they're investors or it depends on if they're traders. But I will tell you this about the crypto market that a lot of people don't want to realize. Most people in crypto are traders. Most people in crypto are traders. And I was going to make a video about this. If you buy a coin, let's say you buy Fart Coin, you on just no leverage, no nothing. So let's say you buy Fartcoin in January. You say, okay, Fartcoin is a penny. I want to sell Fartcoin at $1. Let's just for shits and giggles. That's a trade. You have it's a swing trade, you know. So most people are getting into these altcoins in order to sell it at a higher price. That's a trade. So most people in crypto are traders, you know, for the most part. Investing, so I invest in Bitcoin. So I have no price prediction. I have no price that I'm going to sell Bitcoin at. My whole thing, and I haven't really talked about this either, once crypto, specifically Bitcoin, becomes an established household thing that everybody in the financial institution is acknowledging and, you know, appreciating, then I'm going to borrow against my Bitcoin. I'm going to start using it like real estate or using it like stocks. I don't want to ever sell my Bitcoin. I think it's going to keep appreciating unless, you know, we have some type of zombie apocalypse or something like that. But I'm going to keep appreciating. I'm going to keep, you know, buying Bitcoin, and hopefully, you know, hopefully it does go up. Nothing is set in stone. But I'll bet, you know, I'm betting my future, you know, in investing on that Bitcoin is going to continue to appreciate and go like that. Let's see what you guys are saying. So I want to hear. Okay, we said that. Don't forget about Crypto Chico. So I never watched them like that. I heard, but I never watched. X221 says, "Yo, it's over." Hey, no alt season. Crow, Jabna, are my plays. Zebek. That is ZBCN, Zebek. So I just did some research on there. If you're talking about that, if you're talking about Zebek and that, I was really intrigued with that. I was super intrigued with that. I'm not really too privy about Jasmine. I know a lot of people make content about Jasmine, but Zebek, if that's the one you're talking about, that has a lot of good fundamentals. That has a lot of good fundamentals. And if crypto was like fundamentally based, I think that one would be like to the moon for sure. So yep, Zebek, yep. Let's see. X, Crow as well. If you're talking about crypto.com, like their token, they're gonna be around. They're gonna be around because crypto.com is gonna be around. So I think Zebek, I think Crow is gonna be around as well. And that's the thing. That's the thing. You wanna it's two parts of crypto that I've come to realize. In a bear market, you don't really have to try to predict what's going to actually do very well. Like that's going to just outperform everything. In a bear market, well, this is just me. In this bear market, I'm trying to accumulate the things that I know are going to stand the test of times. The coins that I know are going to stand the test of times. When we start to ramp back up, when we start to get back in bull mode or bull market mode, it's you have time to get in some of these coins. You have so much time to get in some of these coins. You don't have to buy them in the bear market. The bear market, for me, this is what I'm doing, not financial advice. I'm accumulating the coins that I know are going to be here, that I know are going to stand the test of time. Nothing is 100%, but of course, Bitcoin. We talked about XRP. A lot of people hate XRP. I'm Bitcoin for sure. That's like 98%. But other like altcoins, Solana, XRP, Ethereum will be here, you know, things like that. And I'm starting to get a handful of other coins that I think may, you know, potentially do well. But when it comes to like, let's say we go to a bear market and then we start to go into a bull, things start to get bullish. You have time to get into those coins. You don't have to just be accumulating at bear market bottoms. The risk to reward is not, it's not there. You know, it's more risk. I'm trying to be a little bit less risky. As it depends on where your portfolio is at. As your portfolio gets a little bit bigger, you don't have to take as big of risk. So I will say that. So like I said earlier, it depends on the situation. My advice, stay off the alts, my friend. Okay, I understand. And a lot of people, a lot of people are going that way. A lot of people are going that way. So I'm basically saving in Bitcoin. If you see my pinned video, that's the first video on my channel. It says why I save in Bitcoin. So that's basically my savings account. That's basically what I'm going to use as an instrument to build wealth. You know what I mean? How people use real estate to build wealth. I'm going to try, hopefully, to use Bitcoin that way. But I feel like it's still a little bit too early to look at it like that. But I'm just looking towards the future. I'm looking towards the future because I'm looking back as to if I would have invested back then. Now I'm trying to look more towards the future as to how I can, allocate Bitcoin and how I can use Bitcoin in the future. So we'll see, man. But I definitely, if that's my advice, people, I talked about this maybe before you got on, Son and Sats. I said, when people was asking me about buying altcoins, I said, bro, just buy Bitcoin. I can go all day about altcoins. I can give you a whole white paper about some of these altcoins. But if somebody's new and they come ask me about crypto, I'm just gonna say, just buy Bitcoin and do some home research. If you want to just blindly buy something, not financial advice. If I'm just blindly buying something, if I was coming to the market, I'm just blindly buying Bitcoin. Everything else, I would just, I don't even want to talk about, to new people like us. Everybody on this has probably been in crypto, so we can talk about alts, we can talk about things, but for the most part, I'm chilling. Tell them why. Tell them to look at their value. It's another thing, and then that's a hard thing to conceptualize, and I don't know why it's so hard. Like it was hard for me because I was listening to Ben Cowan in the bear market, and he was talking about basically look at it against Bitcoin, look at it against Bitcoin. I was like, why do I care about what it looks like in Bitcoin? I care about what it looks like against the dollar. But I wasn't even thinking, you know what I mean? I wasn't even thinking about it like that. So now that I'm hip and I know what's going on, when somebody asked me about, well, why not this art? It went from a penny to 50 cents or something like that. But I said, look at it against Bitcoin. You know what I mean? So once you start to look at it in Bitcoin terms, once you start, like you said, looking the value of these altcoins against Bitcoin, that might have been a terrible example, but you get what I'm saying. Once you start looking at it in Bitcoin terms, then it becomes a lot clearer. But a lot of people only look at USD. A lot of people only look at it in dollar terms. So yeah, that's pretty much what it is. So right now, Bitcoin, I mean, it's coming down. It's coming down. We talked about this $94,000 to $95,000 level that we're watching. We want to hold. We don't want to come breach that on a daily. We don't want to start closing dailies below there. I'm gonna be back on the computer, back on the charts a little bit later. I'm gonna do a dedicated video, but I want to do more of these as opposed to just talking at you or talking at the people. I want to talk to, I want to talk to people. So this is a lot funner. It's a lot better. And I think, going into some sort of a period, if we go, some sort of a down period, I think this will be one of the ways that, we can converse, because I really like to converse. Like outside of YouTube or X or Twitter or the internet, I don't really have nobody to talk to crypto about, to be completely honest with you. It's people that think they know about crypto, people that think they know about, but like really deep conversations, cool conversations about crypto, I don't really have nobody to talk to like that outside of this. So I love this format. So we're going to be doing this format a lot more. Yeah. But at some points the alt will, and that's the thing. So Crypto Change Me says at some point, points, altcoins will outperform Bitcoin. And that's why I say we have time. You have time. You just have to know when. That's why you have to be in the space. You have to be embedded in the space. So you have to know when to be in the altcoins. You have to know when to be in the altcoins. So that's basically what I was saying. So you could just be in Bitcoin 3 years. And then when you see some type of altcoin season, you can look at like the total 2, total 3, things like that, others. Once those start breaking out, once things like that start happening, then you can get into some altcoins. Like, so if you want to play it like that, but you have to be in the space. A lot of people just are not in the space or have time to just move some money over or buy altcoins when it's altcoin season. They don't even know how to gauge altcoin season, but it is outliers as well. Even though it's not altcoin season, it's still sometimes we get alts that just pump out of nowhere. So crypto, man, is it's like another job, to be completely honest with you. It's definitely like another job, but I love it. I love it. I love talking to you guys. I love making content. We're gonna continue to make content. We're gonna continue to make money. And it's possible. It's possible. That's what I'm trying to tell people. It's possible, man. Like off of one altcoin, I traveled the world with my family. I went to off of Popcat. Alexandra G. I don't know if she's still here, but Alexandra G can attest. She's seen it. Off of Popcat. I went to Dubai for a month. I went to Thailand for 2 months. I went to Malaysia, and then I went back to Thailand for a couple months. This was all off of one altcoin play. This was all off of Popcat. I was talking about Popcat all when was it? 2024, like the beginning of 2024. Popcat started to, I was telling people like Popcat. Popcat went crazy. I mean, I was dumping so much money as a Popcat. Popcat ended up going crazy. I took profits and I took my family on a 5-month vacation, basically overseas. And I got a wife and 3 kids, bro. So it's possible. It's possible. Now that trip was expensive, and if I would have bought some Bitcoin, I probably would have fared off a little bit better. But sometimes experiences are worth it, well worth it. So I think that was well worth it as well. So like I said, we had 2 big ones. So all it takes is 1 or 2. So we had Popcat and we had Virtuals. virtual. Shout out to, I don't know if you guys know who Forrest is over at Sistine Research, but he got me into virtuals at like I think 8 cent or 11 cent, somewhere very low. He like publishes like some white pages or some articles or something like that. He was talking about it and building his base case or his bull case for it. And I respect his work, and I looked at it and I said, okay, I'll invest in it. It ended up going to like $5. I think I sold it like $4.44, bro. So it was two of those basically did me well for the whole crypto market or this whole bull run. And then of course we got the stuff that we had in 2020 that's still been doing good. Congrats, that's what like taking profits and spending time with your family. Yeah, it is. So Crypto Changed Me says, congrats, bro. That's what life is. You should be taking profits and spending time with your family. Man, family is so important to me. And the reason I go so hard and the reason I'm pretty much so embedded in crypto is for my family. It is for my family. So I'm not coming on the internet to be one of those crypto bros flexing and doing all that other stuff. I like nice stuff. I love nice stuff, but that's not me. Like, that's not me. And we'll continue to bring. So what I do is I just have, as I learn, I teach. As I learn, I teach, because I got to actually pick my son up soon. So as I learn, I teach, though. So anything that I learn in the crypto market or have learned in the crypto market, I just bring it out, and hopefully I can bring it in a way that people understand and can appreciate. You know what I mean? So a lot of times people have a lot of knowledge, but they might be either too boring or they might not be able to say it in a way that's understandable. So I'm still working on, breaking down the complex things in crypto to be understandable. But I feel like I'm likable. I feel like that's one of my traits. Like, and that has taken me a long way in life, to be completely honest with you. So, all right, now we're on Bitcoin Watch. We're gonna wrap it up in a minute. We're on Bitcoin Watch right now. It's at 98,262. But that $94,000, that $94,000 to $95,000 level is key. Is key. And also, we'll probably get some sort of a bounce, but how big that bounce will be will determine. If we get like a baby bounce back to like 101, 102, like, or maybe like let me just actually do some quick TA while I'm sitting here, while I got you guys with me, because I'm gonna make a dedicated TA video a little bit later when I get back and put it out tonight. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you subscribe, because I like to put out a lot of Bitcoin TA videos. Let's go to the hourly. So right now, I mean, the line at like 100,000. That's a psychological level and it's a technical level that we're watching. This $100,000 level, and so getting back above there will be first and foremost. But if we come back up to like 102.5 and get rejected from there, that wouldn't be good. So I'm expecting some sort of a bounce. I don't expect. I mean, not right now. We're breaching 98. We're coming down to 97. So we're dumping. So we do have, like I said, that $94,000 to $95,000 area that we must bounce. If we can get a strong bounce from there, then short term we'll be out of the hot water, when it comes to the bear market. But it looks like, it feels like a bear market, to be completely honest with you. Like, I've been through a bull market that converted into a bear market. It's the same. I feel the same. It feels the same. I'm not going off emotion. I'm not going off sentiment. I'm talking about sentiment a little bit, but I'm going off price action. The same price action, like this kind of happened in 2022. So we'll continue to watch it. We'll continue to watch it. I'll continue to be here. Like I said, we're not going nowhere. If Bitcoin is at 500,000 or Bitcoin is at 50,000, 20,000, 10,000, wherever it goes, I still think Bitcoin is going to go to those numbers that everybody's talking about, 200, 300, 400,000. So we're not going to go nowhere. Even if Bitcoin starts to go down, we'll probably even ramp up the content even more. We're not going to turn our back on the community. As a lot of people are going to leave the space and start to be, fitness influencers. Shout out to MM Crypto. Shout out to MM Crypto, though. He is a health nut. He has like a health channel. So I'm not talking about him, because I like him. He's actually a very, very, very nice person as well. So I'm not talking about him because I said fitness influencer, but a lot of people are going to leave the space and they're going to be talking about other stuff. And then once the market ramps back up, then they'll come back to crypto. Like, be wary of those people. They kind of turning their back on their communities. They're kind of turning their back on, the space. We're going to be here. We're going to be here. That's all I want to say. So you're awesome. You're awesome, Alexandra G. I appreciate you. We all appreciate you. Alexandra G is the best mod. She's a mod to so many people in the space, so many people way bigger than me, and she's, she comes over and gives little old me a hand over on my channel, so I appreciate it. I gotta send you something. I'm gonna send you something too. So make sure we get together. I'm gonna send you a gift, and we appreciate you, Cameron03. I appreciate you. Quick reminder, yeah, smash that like. Make sure you hit that like. Make sure you hit that comment. I feel like make sure you leave a comment. Come over to the Telegram too. The Cool Kids Alpha Club is free. I think Alexandra G put it in the comments a little bit earlier. So yeah, like, we're on Bitcoin Watch. We'll continue to watch and see what happens. And I'll make sure I make that dedicated TA video a little bit later. Make sure you come back. Make sure you hit all bell notifications. I'll talk to you in a minute. Peace.